Well, it seems like Trenton has a very hard time cutting any expenditures. I read in the paper a week or so ago about these tax appeal boards,
Yes.
which apparently are they're patronage positions, and people are in the pension system, and those, even though the number of tax appeals have decreased, the number of seats on those boards have increased, and has been. I know there's been some talk about cutting those back to the previous levels of board members. How do we sit with that legislation?
Well, that legislation has been introduced, and I support it. But unfortunately, the majority party in Trenton has not scheduled that bill for a vote, and so these appeal boards and others will be of the same size. And in fact, what we have tried to do is identify. Really, I think it's about $68 million of political patronage that exists in Governor Corzine's administration. And so we said, why don't we try to find some of those savings, reduce the amount of patronage, eliminate it if we can, and identify some of those savings versus what the governor is trying to do. For example, he's trying to take $11 million out of funds that help children with special needs. So this is about priorities. Let's get rid of some of these patronage positions that not only have the short-term cost, but for each time that these patronage employees are in government service, their pension obligations go on, which impacts people of this generation and next who are paying these pension obligations for people who really were patronage employees.
You know, when I introduced you earlier, I should have introduced you. You're the Senate Minority Leader, which means you're the highest-ranking Republican in New Jersey government, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So what's that mean? I mean, what is it? A lot of extra work on your
well,
for you?
It is. It's a fascinating experience, and it's been a real honor and humbling to serve in this position. We have an extraordinary caucus, individuals who are working hard from all corners of the state who are trying to really go in and find solutions. And when I see my responsibility is not only to have the blocking and tackling, trying to block the bad ideas. For example, the Governor Corzine's plan last year to increase toll revenues by 800%. Went around the state, he talked about that, and we were able to unite behind 17 Republicans saying this is the wrong policy. And we were able to have Republicans and Democrats join us, and we were able to block the governor's proposal. On the pension gimmick, we're trying to block the governor's proposal by finding Republicans and Democrats to come along and work together to find better ways. Another part of my responsibility is to find solutions. It's a very important part of my job to work together with senators, Republicans and Democrats alike, to identify solutions to the issues that are impacting people of the state of New Jersey. And that's why when you look at our website, www.senatenj.com, we have not only the common sense plan, but other priorities and issues that we've talked about. In fact, when you look at our website, we have everything from Facebook and Twitter and all these other technologies so that people can understand what we were trying to do. And so my responsibility is to work with my 16 Republican colleagues in this 40-member chamber to really find the solution so we can make people's property taxes more reasonable and reduce them, so we can create more jobs and opportunity in the state of New Jersey, so we can have ways to protect the environment and our water supply and energy and these other issues that I think we can work together.
If I may interrupt there, because we only have a few more minutes, and I know one of your topics, something you're very passionate about is environment, and I know you've sponsored a lot of environmental bills. Anything new on that front? I know you drive a hybrid vehicle too, don't you?
I do.
How's that working out for you?
It's working out great. It's working out great, especially as the gas prices when they were in the stratosphere like they were over the course of the summer. It was very helpful. But I've been driving my hybrid for many a year now. But I think for me, when I look at the environmental protection, it's, number one, it's the right thing to do. And so we need to create ways to have better energy efficiency. But I've always also believed that when you protect the environment, you're also creating more opportunities for people, because this, we need to preserve open space in this state. But also when we focus on ways to conserve energy and make it more efficient, it also makes the state more affordable, because without that waste, at whatever level, we're more productive. And so I think that overall what we need to focus on are those policies that will create incentives so that we who are in this state of Thomas Edison, who are in the state of that we should have so many more patents and so many more technology. So when we look at the green technologies, New Jersey should be the leader on some of these areas, and so we need to create those policies, and so that, like when you hear about the Research Triangle in North Carolina, or the 128 corridor in Massachusetts, and Silicon Valley and other areas, we should try to create that type of entity here in the state of New Jersey. And so, like our forebears with Edison and others, we can have those new technologies that will make us more energy independent and find those solutions here.
Great. And then, ending note, why don't you just update us on something that's very important to Westfield residents, is the new mass transit tunnel to Penn Station.
Right. Well, it's moving along. It's moving along. As you know, what the goal would be to have a one-seat ride from Westfield and everybody along the Raritan Valley line into the city of New York. And I think what it'll do is it will grow the economy, not only in New York State, but in this area, and really enhance convenience. And I think one thing is it's still a couple of years away, but there have been some important steps taken on the state level and the federal level to move this along.
And so I think the last piece I've read recently is we're waiting for federal funding.
Yes.
We have the state funding, both states are in agreement, and now it's just the federal funding and get the shovels in the ground. Right?
Well, I think there are some ways that this has been moved forward. I think there are better ways we could accomplish some of the tasks that have been moved forward, and I think New York should be paying a greater share than it currently is. But the ball is, the project is moving forward. It's getting to be shovel ready, and so it's still a couple years away, but I think that we can see it in the future.
Well, Senator, I want to thank you very much for appearing on Hometown on TV 36.
Thank you, Mayor.
And just informing us a little bit more about what's happening in Trenton. It's always good to have you on TV 36.
Thank you,
Thank
Mayor.
you for your service. And I want to thank you for tuning in to this special edition of Hometown with Senator Tom Kean.